Island of the Dolls, La Isla de las Muñecas, Mexico. The Island of the Dolls, La Isla de las Muñecas, Mexico is one of the most eerie and fascinating places in the world, steeped in mystery, legend, and a chilling atmosphere. Located in the canals of Xochimilco, just south of Mexico City, the island is famous for the hundreds of decaying dolls hanging from trees, staring blankly with missing limbs, cracked faces, and lifeless eyes. What was once an unremarkable plot of land has transformed into a macabre destination that attracts thrill-seekers, paranormal enthusiasts, and curious tourists alike. The legend behind the island. The story of La Isla de las Muñecas begins in the 1950s with a man named Don Julian Santana Barrera, a hermit who lived alone on the island. The legend says that one day, Don Julian found the body of a young girl who had drowned in one of the nearby canals. Haunted by the tragedy, he believed that her spirit remained on the island, restless and seeking peace. Not long after the discovery of her body, Don Julian found a doll floating in the canal, perhaps one of the girl's toys, and hung it from a tree to honor her memory and appease her spirit. However, Don Julian became convinced that the doll alone wasn't enough to satisfy the spirit of the girl. Fearing her ghost, he began collecting more dolls from the garbage and canals, hanging them all around the island to ward off any malevolent entities. He scavenged dolls wherever he could find them, no matter their condition. Many were broken, dirty, or missing parts. Over time, the collection grew, and the island became a surreal and haunting sight, with dolls covering every tree and post, their faces weathered by the elements and slowly decaying. Life on the island. Don Julian lived on the island for decades, completely alone except for the company of the dolls. As time went on, he isolated himself further from society, his obsession with the dolls becoming his sole focus. Locals who occasionally visited the island said that he believed the dolls were alive, possessed by the spirits of the dead, and he spoke to them as if they were real people. He claimed to hear whispers, footsteps, and cries echoing through the island at night. Some villagers thought Don Julian was mad, driven to insanity by loneliness and the traumatic discovery of the girl's body. Others, however, believed his stories of the paranormal and regarded him with a mix of fear and reverence. Many people avoided the island altogether, believing it to be cursed or haunted. The death of Don Julian. In a strange twist of fate, Don Julian's own death added to the island's eerie reputation. In 2001, after living there for over 50 years, he was found dead in the very same spot where he had claimed to have found the drowned girl decades earlier. His death only fueled rumors that the spirit he had tried so desperately to appease had finally claimed him. After his passing, Don Julian's family inherited the island. They chose to leave the dolls in place, respecting his memory and the legend he had created. Over time, La Isla de las Muñecas became a popular destination for tourists seeking a glimpse of the bizarre and paranormal. The dolls remain as they were, slowly deteriorating, their faces twisted and distorted by the weather, vines growing around them, and insects and birds nesting within their hollowed-out eyes. The haunting atmosphere. Visiting the Island of the Dolls today is an unsettling experience. The sight of hundreds of mutilated dolls hanging from trees in various stages of decay creates a deeply disturbing atmosphere. Some dolls are missing heads, others have limbs dangling from their sockets, and their dead eyes seem to follow you as you move through the island. The quietness of the surrounding canals adds to the feeling of isolation and dread, interrupted only by the rustling of leaves or the creaking of a doll's head swaying in the wind. Many visitors have reported feeling an overwhelming sense of unease upon arriving at the island. Some claim to have seen the dolls move on their own or heard faint whispers and laughter, although no one else is around. The stories of paranormal activities surrounding the island have persisted, with some visitors believing the dolls are inhabited by the spirits of the dead, both the girl and others who may have met untimely deaths near the canals of Xochimilco. La Isla de las Muñecas today. Despite its unsettling reputation, the Island of the Dolls continues to attract curious visitors. Tourists can take a boat, or triginera, through the canals of Xochimilco to reach the island. The journey to the island itself is peaceful, with brightly painted boats drifting through the serene water, but the sight of the island in the distance, with its eerie collection of dolls hanging from every surface, brings an undeniable chill. For some, the island is a morbid curiosity, a chance to see something unusual and creepy. For others, it is a place to connect with the supernatural or to ponder the fragile line between life and death. Whether you believe in the legend or not, La Isla de las Muñecas leaves a lasting impression on anyone who visits. In the end, the Island of the Dolls stands as a testament to one man's obsession and the power of a haunting story. Its surreal and unsettling beauty lies in its decaying dolls, each one a silent witness to the strange history of this isolated island, where reality and legend blend together into something truly unique and unnerving.